Hey everyone, this is Grant Luna with Fidelity National Title. So for today's Tech Tuesday, I wanted to show you a couple of specific features from our Fidelity Agent One app. In particular, I wanted to show you some features that would be really helpful in dealing with some seller objections, especially as we enter in a potential change in the market and maybe have to shift some of these seller expectations that you're sitting down with in listing presentations. So the particular feature that I wanted to show you is the holding costs calculator within Fidelity Agent One, as well as the seller net sheet. So how these work is you can navigate to the seller portion of the app. On the computer version, it's going to be up on the top tab here, and on the phone, it'll be on the bottom. It'll say seller. And so from here, you can actually enter in a net sheet. So even ahead of time, you can prepare one of these net sheets and attach it to your listing presentation. And so I'll do an example case. Let's say that I have a listing presentation and I can enter in the address of that listing up here at the top of the page. What's nice about actually entering in the actual address is Fidelity Agent One will pull from public record data the actual property tax information and loan balance remaining on that property. So you see here, based off just entering in the address, it'll give me the estimated annual property tax information here. And I can select next to attach that to the estimate. And it's also found a loan on the property that was recorded in 2021 for $454,000. And it'll give me a general interest rate at the time of the market. So it says the average rate in 2021 was 2.94%. So let's say I can just enter in that average, or if they actually know the interest rate, I can actually just put that in that conversation with them. So I can compute and it'll give me the estimated loan balance remaining on this property. I can use that in the estimate. I can put in the actual sales price. So let's say that I think this property is worth $635,000. I can enter in the commission. I can also edit things such as the city transfer tax if this property is located in LA City, for example. So next I can hit compute. And it will give me the net at close that this homeowner will gain from selling their property at $635,000. So for those that aren't familiar with Fidelity Agent One, what's great about all of these calculators within the app is the fact that you can easily share these and it'll be created into a template for you. So on the computer, for example, if I select share or print PDF, that information will be placed into a net sheet. It'll show the actual escrow fees and title fees associated with that escrow, all with my information at the bottom, which I can easily print or send to them. But what I wanted to show today is the holding costs portion of the seller net sheet. So let's say, for example, you're sitting down with a seller and they're being a little bit difficult. Maybe you think the actual market value at $635,000 is a little bit high. Maybe you did some comps and you think it's better priced at $620,000, but they're being really stubborn and they want to sell their property for $635,000. So what you can do is run them a net sheet at $635,000 like I just did. And once you run that net sheet, you actually have a couple of tabs up here at the top of the net sheet they can play with. So I'll select holding costs. And what that'll actually allow me to do is show that seller what it'll cost them for either a month period or day period if their home sits on the market, especially as the market shifts a little bit and how fast homes are selling. So I can come in here and I can change it from days instead of months. And I can also edit some of the expenses. So I can click edit expenses. I can add an HOA. So let's say that monthly they're paying $350 in homeowners association dues. And I can add in the monthly utilities as well, or any other miscellaneous monthly costs they have associated with this exact property. And it'll show them if they hold their property for 30 days on the market, 60 days versus 90 days, all the way up to 120 days, how much that'll cost them for holding their house and not selling it. And I can actually create this once again into a template. It has the information on there that I can play around with. And also this net sheet, once you create it, is able to be edited as well. So you can have that conversation with the seller and say, okay, I think your house is worth closer to $620,000. There is a danger in listing it too high and having it sit for longer and affect some of the psychology of the buyers that are looking at this house. And let's see what happens if we have to do a few price reductions. Let's say instead of $635,000 in terms of the sales price, maybe it sits on the market and we have to do a couple of price reductions and the market continues to shift. And now maybe we have to sell it for $610,000 instead of $620,000 like I think it could be worth. So I enter in that new information there, hit compute, and now it will give me a new net sheet and show them basically what it cost them to overprice that house on top of the holding costs that you can show them here. So you can say, if you list this house for too high of an asking price and then it sits on the market for maybe a couple of months, it's going to cost you maybe a couple of $1,000s on top of the reduced price that we could sell this for. So this is just one particular function within Fidelity Agent One that can allow you to deal with clients on a day-to-day basis and provide value in your business.